So today's a big day. We are about to take a major trip. We are going to Europe and we are taking the whole family. So that's me, my husband, my two older teens, and my young daughter. And we are not just taking any trip to Europe. We are going on an Adventures by Disney trip, which is a bucket list experience for me that I've wanted to do for many years. And we decided that we're going to make it happen. Disney is so much more than theme parks. I do specialize in Disney Vacations, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Alani in Hawaii, and Disney Cruise Line. But this is my first time going on an Adventures by Disney, and the reason why I wanted to share with you guys about it is because not many people know that Disney does vacations all around the world, and they're not like in your face Mickey. Like, it's very low key, and it's about the culture of the destinations that you're visiting. One thing I love about Adventures by Disney is you have guides that go with your group. It's a group usually of less than 35 people. And you have adventure guides, one that's US based, and a lot of times one that is locally based. So your locally based guide knows all about the culture of the destination that you're visiting. They have connections there. They can get you great hookups. They can get you experiences that maybe you can't book on your own or you wouldn't know to book on your own. And then your US based guide, they know kind of what you're used to maybe as a US based visitor, and they know how to make your trip more comfortable. So why am I sharing all of this with you? The main reason is because I want to spread awareness about Adventures by Disney, and I want to be able to book more of these vacations for people that are looking for something more exotic, but maybe want to be more hands-off in the planning process. The cool thing about Adventures by Disney is they plan everything for you from start to finish. You don't have to worry about anything. Yes, the trips are more expensive than maybe what you're used to visiting the theme parks. They are something that maybe you save up for. We personally saved for this trip for 2.5 years. But whenever you get to go on them, you're experiencing a level of concierge service that is just unmatched. And it comes with the Disney name. You know that excellence is going to be key. And the Disney magic really starts from day one when you arrive. They pick you up at the airport. They handle everything from start to finish, even moving your luggage around for you from place to place, because a lot of times you will visit multiple hotels during your trip, and they handle everything on the way back to the airport. You just book your flights, and most of your meals are included. Yeah, you do get a lot of downtime on your own where you can maybe relax at the resort, go swimming, or maybe go explore the area on your own. But for the most part, you don't really have to think about much of anything other than just getting your family there and enjoying the trip. So I've decided that I want to bring you along with us for this trip. Another reason is because I haven't really seen many people showcasing Adventures by Disney online. And I know when I was doing my own research for this trip, yeah, I am a travel agent, so I do have access to a lot of information. But I found that for the average person, it's not that easy. So I'm going to show you what our experience is like from start to finish, and I hope you'll follow along with me. It will be a multi-video series, so make sure that you click follow if you're not already following me. You can also subscribe to my other channels at the link in the description or in my bio. Where maybe if you're watching a long form video right now, you can get the shorter clips. If you're watching a shorter clip right now, you can watch the long form videos on maybe another channel. So, which trip are we going on? We decided that we're going to go on the 10-day Legends of Greece visit to Athens, Santorini, and Crete. This is 10 days, meaning we're going to be in 3 different destinations, and all of our travel in between those destinations is handled. We fly into Athens, and the trip ends in Crete. We will handle our own flights from Crete back to Athens and then back to the U.S. The overall itinerary is visiting Athens, visiting the Acropolis. We're going to go shopping in the local villages. We're really excited to visit the Temple of Poseidon up on the Cape. We are going to have a couple of dinners on our own in Athens, and the adventure guides have a few surprises in store from what we hear. There is a nice welcome reception at the beginning where we get to meet all of our fellow adventurers and kind of find out their story and get to know the people we're going to spend time with over the next 10 days. After Athens, they're going to put us on a flight to Santorini. That's where my daughter's most excited to visit. Santorini, if you don't know, that's the island with the beautiful white buildings up on the caldera on the cliffside and the blue domes. And we're going to spend 2 nights in Santorini and 3 days. And during that time, we have a lot of activity. I know when we arrive, we're scheduled to go to a winery to do a wine tasting at a vineyard that's hundreds of years old, from what I understand. Then we're going to visit the town of Fiera. Our accommodations, by the way, at all of our locations are top notch. Disney does it right. And in Europe, that can be difficult. Sometimes it's not the same way that we're accustomed to in the US, where we're used to really, being able to fit many people in one room. So Disney does a great job of getting rooms and hotels that fit their standards, and probably yours too. So in Santorini, after the vineyard and visiting the town of Fiera, the next day they are taking us out on a boat, and we're supposed to visit some springs, and I hear there may be some swimming in the sea involved. I know we have some special dinners planned in Santorini. The first night we do eat dinner with our adventure guides, and then the next 2 nights we kind of get to go out on our own. The next night we get to go out on our own. And we're planning, I know that the girls and I are planning to have matching, have synchronized outfits that night. So we're looking forward to taking some pretty pictures. And then the next day we get to go in the town of Ia and do a little bit of shopping, maybe go eat lunch down in the caldera. And then we're getting on a high-speed ferry boat, and we're headed to Crete. Crete is a beautiful island. It's actually pretty big. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest. It's one of the biggest Greek islands. And in Crete, we are staying in the town of Alunda. And Alunda is like an old fishing village area. It's kind of the quieter side of the island, beautiful beaches. And on the first day, the first full day in Crete, we're going to the island of Spinalonga, which is an old leper colony, and it functioned as a leper colony for years until there was a cure found. So we're going to go explore that, and then go eat in the cute little fishing village town nearby in Mirabella Bay. And then I know one of the nights in Crete, there's an adult-only dinner where the adventure guides are going to take the kids and entertain them and do like a fun night with them and feed them and entertain them, while the adults get to go to a really nice dinner. And that dinner is paid for by Adventures by Disney. It's all included in the package. And then on another night or two, we're having dinner just with our kids. That'll be out of our own pockets. And at the end of the trip, there will be a farewell reception. And I know in between there, we're visiting some archaeological ruins from the Bronze Age, like 5,000-year-old ruins. We're going up into a mountain village. We're going to do a tzatziki, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but a tzatziki making course, and do some crafts. And there's just so much activity that they have planned for us, and I can't even remember it all. And that's actually what I love, because usually when I have to plan everything, I know everything, and it's like I've already lived the trip in my head before I've ever gotten there. And this time I get to relax and kind of let someone else take the reins. So without further ado, this right here is the box that Disney sent a little over a month ago. You usually get it several weeks before your trip. So one thing about Adventures by Disney is they require full final payment 90 days before your trip. Before then, you can make payments as you go. Deposit, whenever you make the reservation, is usually 20%, but they do have 50% off deposits through July 31st of 2026. So if that's something you're interested in for 2027 adventures, be sure to reach out to me for a quote before then. They also have insurance that you can purchase directly through them, or you can go with a third-party insurer. But I do always recommend getting travel insurance for any international trip, because you just never know. Deposits are non-refundable after, I believe, 2 weeks. And the once your final payment is due, that is also non-refundable. I am not a travel insurance advisor. I can only recommend that you purchase travel insurance, but any actual coverage information you would have to get from the actual suppliers themselves. You don't get a ton of communication from Adventures by Disney leading up to the trip. Pretty much you get your confirmation, and then we can answer any questions that you have, and you get the spots. And then they will also email a travel guide specifically for your destination, and that's where they teach you a little bit about the language and the culture, and the expectations that you might have and not have. And they send you your confirmations for your room types and the hotels that you'll be staying in. We are a family of 5, so that means that we have 2 rooms in each hotel that we're going to, because in Europe it's not common to have hotel rooms that really sleep more than 2 to 3. So we get confirmations for our hotel visits. We did add a pre-night and a post-night to our adventure because we want to make sure that we're rested at the beginning of the adventure and that we have time to kind of enjoy the beautiful resort that we're ending at the end of the adventure. So today is officially the day that we're going to do our unboxing. This is what Disney sent us, kind of as a precursor to the trip. This box came a few weeks ago, and we actually got 2 boxes. I did already open the first box because we got 1 box per room that we're in, so we did 2 separate reservations. I did already open that box just because I wanted to kind of like start packing and figure out like what to expect, but I saved one. I genuinely have not opened this box. I saved the other one for this video because I wanted to do a live unboxing so you could see what to expect whenever you go on an adventure trip. So this came after final payment. And in here, you'll see that there's a nice note up here and some goodies. So we'll kind of go through it. So it says, let's adventure together. Let's prepare. It asks you to check your email address, double check your information, and it gives you the phone number to call if you have any issues. And then it tells you what's going to be in the box. So they tell you they want you to bring these items with you. There's a reason they're sending this. This isn't just swag. It's like things that you actually might need on the trip. So first things first, look. It looks just like the name tags that they wear at Disney World. So I'm a Disney geek. I recognize the name badge. I've never had one because I've never been a cast member, but this kind of makes me feel like someone special. This kind of makes me feel like one. So this is a lanyard. This is going to have our name on it. And we will fill that in whenever we arrive. And that's just to help your fellow adventurers identify you and know that you're with them and to learn your name. Next, we have a hat, and there's 2 hats in here, one for each of the people in this room. And these are snapback hats. They're pretty nice. They have holes in them for breathability because it is hot in Greece this time of year. And it says right here, Adventures by Disney. I love that. So we have 2 hats. We have 2 lanyards. We have luggage tags right here. So this is what we will tag our bags with so that whenever we arrive at the hotel, they will know where our bags go. And the best, coolest thing of all, this backpack. This is actually a really nice backpack. So it's made with recycled materials. It is adjustable, and it has the Adventures by Disney logo on it, and it is pretty subtle, but I love that it has the snap closure in the back. It has a carrying handle up top, and everybody, each room gets one. So the inside of it has a zipper pouch right here, and it's mesh. And then it's a pretty generous size inside, as you can see. And you can use this as your carry-on or, whatever you want to do on the flight there. It does have a couple of pockets in it. They do recommend bringing refilled water bottles with you on the trip. But my favorite feature on this is the zipper is a locking zipper. So why does that matter, you ask? Because Europe is kind of known for pickpocketing. There's a lot of petty theft. There's not a lot of violent theft, but there is a lot of petty theft in Europe. And Greece is unfortunately one of the top countries for pickpocketing. Maybe not as high up on the list as Italy and Rome, but it is something that you have to be aware of. And having that extra locking security is just a nice touch that Disney added to these backpacks. And then something else in here that they sent. These are nice leather luggage tags, and I love that they're very chic. There's, again, you're noticing there's no characters on these. There's nothing overtly Disney, but you know, it's just a nice way to make your bag stand out and help you identify your luggage. And it's a nice little keepsake too from your trip. And last but not least, we have these two envelopes. These are Adventure Guide gratuity envelopes. All gratuities for your bag porters, your hotel maid services, your hotel housekeeping services, all of that is included in the price of your adventure. The only thing not included as far as gratuities go are gratuities for your guides. And your guides do a lot of work during your trip. They really are working even whenever you're not realizing that they're working, and they're with you from start to finish. They kind of act as your personal concierge when you go out on your own. They give you recommendations, and they really go above and beyond to make your experience one that you'll never forget. So Disney does make it easy for you to tip the guides, and you can pre-fill these and just bring them along with you. And it really is up to you whether you tip in the local currency or U.S. currency. And you can always ask your guides what they prefer as well. But Disney does recommend a gratuity of between $9 and $12 per guide, per day, per person. So if you have two people going on a 7-day adventure and you decide you want to do $10 per day and you have two people and two guides, then you would be looking to spend about $280 in gratuities on your trip. And that's something that you can just discreetly give them at the end, maybe at the farewell dinner. So all that said, I'm going to pack it back up because we are leaving actually very soon. We're going into Paris for a few days prior to our Adventures by Disney trip, which I will also be vlogging separately. And I've got to start packing everything up because our flight is tomorrow. If you have any questions about Adventures by Disney, please reach out. There are so many destinations. If Greece isn't for you, maybe Rome is. And something really cool about Adventures by Disney is they can get you into the Vatican before the general public. They have so many experiences that are not things that you can maybe book on your own. In London, you can have a private viewing of the crown jewels. Adventures by Disney goes to Costa Rica. They go to China. They go to Japan. They're going to Croatia next year. That's a new one that they've added. There's Thailand. You can experience Norway. They even have river cruises. And if you want to stay domestic, you can also do Adventures by Disney here in the U.S. A lot of people really love doing the tours out in California if they are Disney nerds. You can see some of the day-to-day behind-the-scenes stuff going on at Disneyland and walk kind of where Walt walked. But really, Adventures by Disney is for the traveler who wants something different. You want something that is beyond what you've been doing, and you want something steeped in culture, because that's what these trips are. You know, if you go on Disney Cruise Line, they also go to Greece and they visit many ports, but you know, you're on a cruise, so you get the relaxation of a cruise, and that's great a lot of times for really young kids. But as your kids get older, you may decide, you know, I really want to stay in these destinations instead of just using them as a port experience. I really want to meet some of the locals and see what it's like to be here. But I don't want the stress of dealing with the semantics of it all. Then Adventures by Disney might be for you. And because these trips are heavily curated, it is a great option to set as like a bucket list destination, something that you put a deposit down on and you save for and you look forward to for a while. You know, download that Duolingo app and start learning the language of the destination that you're going to. Find out where all the locals go and find out where all the best picture spots are. You have time to really enjoy doing all the research on the fun stuff because you're not having to worry about all the boring stuff. So I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up, but I just wanted to share that I'm really excited about this trip. I think that the Disney reputation extends far and wide, and I know that this is going to live up to expectations and go far beyond them. And I hope that you'll follow along with me. So please follow if you're not already following, hit like, share this with somebody that you think might enjoy going on an Adventures by Disney trip. And I'll see you in Greece.